Ba-ba. Baba? Ba-ba? Baba? How do you pronounce that? Baba Is You is well, I hesitate to call it a game. It's more of a series of puzzles built around redefining its own rules. You play as, well, actually, you play as a lot of things, but usually start off as the titular Baba. Baba? This little dog wolf thing with the power to manipulate reality, apparently. Essentially, you have these blocks spread around the board, each with a word painted across them. Pushing these blocks around to create sentences can change the rules of how the game works, but some blocks can't be reached and others can't be pushed without causing damage to yourself or your goal. For example, here it says Baba is you and flag is win. This means you control Baba, and touching the flag triggers a win state and ends the level. But the flag can't actually be reached, so we'll have to do a little creative reprogramming to get this to work. Now, we can't do anything with the sentence Baba is you, because if we break that chain, well, then no one is us, and the ensuing existential crisis will cause Baba to freeze in place while pondering her place in the universe. We can also push this rock around, since it says rock is push, but we can't touch the lava because of the rules Baba is melt and lava is hot. Now, that may seem obvious, but you have to understand that things cannot be taken for granted in this game, and I'll explain why in a minute. But let's get back to the puzzle here. What exactly are our options? Well, we can charge headlong into the lava. Bad idea. We can push things around until we get bored and quit. Also a bad idea. Or we can just change the rules so that instead of rock is push, it says lava is push, and just shove that right out of our way. The game is masterfully designed to slowly ramp up difficulty without getting too frustrating or forcing any overly complicated puzzles on you before you're ready. It also introduces new elements and rules as you go, like locked doors, teleportation, and the ability to fly above obstacles or make obstacles fly above you without ever bringing them on too fast or hitting you with too many at once. I also love the ability to tackle a selection of puzzles in any order if one seems too hard or if I seem too stupid. There's a hidden effect to playing this game as well, and that's that it will help you understand basic computer coding. I mean, you probably won't crank out the next bajillion-dollar.com, but you'll gain a much better understanding of basic object definitions and how computers figure out the data given to them, and it's all done in a way that you barely realize that that's what's going on. For example, in the puzzle I just showed you, you might not think to push the lava out of the way because of the fact that the lava will kill you, but you're thinking about it the way a person looks at it. In real life, if you touch something dangerous, even just the corner of it, it's gonna hurt, but these rules aren't being read by just you, they're being read by a computer, and as far as the computer is concerned, the lava is perfectly safe as long as you and the lava are not occupying the same grid square. Here, I'll show you another example. See, at first glance, you're probably going to assume that you can't leave the enclosed area. But, I don't see any cops around. Hey, you see? As long as there's no rules saying otherwise, everything on screen is just a sprite with no physics attached. Alright, here's another example. See, in this one we have 4 rules. 5 if you count that one at the bottom. Now we can change Baba is you to flag is you, but then we'll be trapped inside the wall, effectively leaving us in a dead end. So instead, we do a little creative shuffling and redefine the roses as you, so that we now control the roses, and Baba as win. Then all we gotta do is get one of the roses to touch Baba, and that's it. Sometimes you'll be forced to think a bit more laterally. For example, in this puzzle, I can't beat the level without changing the rule so that I'm controlling a box, because the function has will let me create a new rule where whenever a box is destroyed, a new box will appear in its place, allowing me to daisy chain boxes across the water to get to the other side without dying. The problem is there are no boxes to control, so I have to line up the object so that pushing the word box into place not only swaps my controls to a box, but creates a box by transforming the character I was playing as into one. That sounds a lot more confusing than it is. I think Baba is You represents a game design philosophy that was largely present in the early days of gaming, but has been mostly missing from the industry for a while. It's a single, basic mechanic refined to a razor's edge and designed to push itself to its own limits and take you along with it. There's a lot of fun to be had experimenting with what makes what happen and trying to figure out why and how things do or don't work as you go. Like I said before, this game's a great way to learn some basic computer programming, especially if you're interested in working with an engine like Game Maker Studio or RPG Maker, and I think it's an awesome way to get the hang of some of the general concepts, even if they are extremely simplified. If you know nothing about computers and aren't at all interested in learning about them, Baba is You still offers some great puzzles and excellent brain teasers, and it's one of those rare instances where I want to recommend something not just because it's entertaining, but because I think it will genuinely benefit anyone who plays it. It's a rare example of a game that can keep you guessing and engaged just by reshuffling and shifting what you already know. Some levels are even back-to-back clones with just 1 or 2 minor changes made, and it wildly impacts the solution and difficulty of the stage, which is a real testament to the skill of the designer. Overall, I guess I'm just hoping someone sees this and goes to play Baba Is You, and I hope it inspires them to maybe try their hand at creating games themselves, and I hope maybe someday they'll create their own Baba Is You and this will all be worth it. I guess theoretically they could go on to create the next Immortals Phoenix Rising and make me wonder why I bother. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time.